In local elections across the UK, and the early indications are that the governing Conservative Party lost seats in local councils. The BBC's Rob Watson reports.
The results so far suggest losses for Boris Johnson's Conservative Party, but it's far from clear whether heavy enough to prompt a challenge to his leadership. The main opposition Labour Party has made some gains, but the results don't suggest a party poised to sweep back into power in a national election. Later on Friday, all eyes will be on Northern Ireland, where it's possible that a party that favours a united Ireland might emerge with more seats than any other for the first time in the province's 100-year history.
The vote for more than 200 local councils, viewed as an important barometer of public opinion ahead of the next national election in the UK. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. You think the cost of mailing a letter is high now?
Postmaster General Louis DeJoy says Americans should get used to uncomfortable postage rate increases. DeJoy says he'll advocate for the Board of Governors to continue raising rates until the Postal Service meets its goal of becoming self-sustaining. He said the service was severely damaged by at least 10 years of a defective pricing model that cannot be overcome with 1 or 2 annual price increases, especially in times of inflation. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
Mexican President Lopez Obrador has started a 5-day tour of 4 Central American countries and Cuba by lashing out at the U.S. Lopez Obrador criticizing Washington for being quick to send billions of dollars to Ukraine, while he says it drags its feet on development aid to Central America. The first stop of his tour was Guatemala. Once again on Wall Street, the Dow down 493 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Beaver County Radio's news source, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com. Here's Frank Sparks.
And good morning. As our forecast for today is calling for showers throughout the day. High's going to be 61 degrees. When will the showers come to an end? And what's Mother's Day weekend going to look like? We'll have a complete forecast coming up for you right after we have this look at news. In a report that we first told you about yesterday in the noonday hour, there was a fire at the Valley Terrace Apartments yesterday morning in Aliquippa. Beaver County Radio News correspondent Sandie Giordano has more.
Aliquippa Fire Chief Dave Foringer reported that his department was dispatched to Valley Terrace Apartments Building D at 2:05 a.m. Thursday morning for a couch on fire. The chief said they were assisted by 7 neighboring departments to put out the fire that started on a couch. The Salvation Army and Red Cross are assisting the residents displaced by the fire, the chief said, and that the fire is under investigation by the state fire marshal. This is Sandie Giordano reporting for Beaver County Radio.
PennDOT is announcing the closure of a portion of Park Road in Brighton Township, Beaver County, that will begin at 9 a.m. on Monday for slide repair work requiring the closure of a portion of Park Road between Brady's Run Road and Brady's Ridge Road. Through traffic will be prohibited around the clock as crews conduct slide remediation work through late June. Traffic will be detoured. You can see the recommended detour on our website at beavercountyradio.com. PennDOT is also announcing lane restrictions in the Fort Pitt Tunnel in the city of Pittsburgh will occur Sunday through Tuesday nights, May the 8th through the 10th. Single lane restrictions will occur in each direction from 9:30 p.m. until 5 a.m. each night as crews conduct tunnel washing operations. Restrictions will not occur in the outbound direction after the end of the Pirates or Penguins games on Monday and Tuesday nights. Pennsylvania Insurance Department Acting Commissioner Michael Humphreys, Department of Transportation Acting Deputy Secretary for Highway Administration Mike Kaiser, and Pennsylvania State Police Lieutenant Adam Reed held a press conference yesterday urging Pennsylvanians to enable the setting on their cell phone that silences text and email notifications while driving to help reduce crashes caused by distracted driving. Acting Secretary Kaiser highlighted the statistics of distracted driving on Pennsylvania roadways in 2021.
PennDOT's preliminary data does show that deaths on our roadways increased by as much as 10% in 2021. That followed 2 of the more historic years we had. And again, fatalities and crashes of many types also went up in 2021, but deaths in crashes where distracted driving was a factor increased by 25%, while suspected serious injuries in those crashes are up by 17%. So obviously that's a trend in the opposite direction of where we'd like to be.
Pennsylvania State Police Corporal Reed highlighted citations and warnings issued by troopers throughout 2021 for distracted driving.
So in 2021, our troopers issued 3,372 citations for distracted driving violations and nearly 2,000 warnings for the same.
Corporal Reed also said that distracted driving doesn't only involve cell phones, but also headphones in your ears, which is illegal in the state of Pennsylvania if you are driving. That audio was courtesy of Commonwealth Media Services. It's been 2 months since the contentious, once-a-decade process to redraw Pennsylvania's legislative districts wrapped up. These days, a couple hundred candidates hoping to unseat or succeed state lawmakers are rushing headlong into the home stretch of a primary election that will greatly call their numbers. The state's Legislative Redistricting Commission produced a map reflecting dramatic shifts in demographics and giving Democrats hope that they can gain seats in a General Assembly that has been controlled by Republican majorities for nearly all of the last 3 decades. Going before voters in the May 17th primary election will be candidates for all 203 House and 25 of the 50 Senate seats.
Here's the Beaver County forecast on 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
Showers today with a high of 61 degrees. More showers overnight tonight with a low of 51. Showers to start out your Mother's Day weekend, but mainly before 3 p.m. High's going to be 56 degrees. For your Mother's Day, it's going to start a stretch of beautiful weather. Mostly sunny skies and a high of 65. Monday, sunny and 71 for your high. Tuesday, also sunny and high of 75. Wednesday, sunny skies and a high of 79 degrees. That is a look at the news for now. I'm Frank Sparks, Beaver County Radio News. 95.7 and 99.3 FM presented by St. Barnabas, 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and beavercountyradio.com.
Now, it's time to talk on Teleforum on Beaver County Radio. 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, 99.3 FM, and beavercountyradio.com. And now, here is the host of the show, Eddie Crow.
(1230) WBVP, 1460 WMBA, 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, 95.7 FM. Streaming at beavercountyradio.com. On the free app, it's called Beaver County Radio. If you follow us on Facebook, you can watch what's going on right now because Sandie's here and we're live streaming it. Sandie Egley is the Beaver County treasurer. And first off, good to see you again. How you doing?
It's great to see you too. Thank you. I appreciate coming in.
Can I gloat a little bit?
Absolutely.
I got my state tax return in the mail yesterday. You ready?
Yeah.
$5 American.
Better run to the bank.
No, I'm living the supersized life for a day, but I thought of you and I thought at some point this $5 had to pass through your hands for me to get it. I mean, a whole lot more went through.
Not me.
Not
I
you?
don't deal with state. No.
Well,
county. I'm only local.
Okay, on the subject of local, so I can't think of you when I got my $5 American.
No, not me.
I'm supersized. I'm off the value menu for a day.
Right.
There are taxes that are due today, and today is the deadline, and you ain't taking no guff from nobody. What are the taxes that are due today that is going to cause people to go, oh, crud, and scramble?
So the county tax that comes out in January of every year, today is the last day to pay the face value. So we have a discount period, a face period, and a penalty period. So if you get your payment in by today, you will pay the face value.
Okay.
And if you're going to be mailing it, I'll accept a post date of today.
Postmarked
by today.
By the 6th of May, if it gets stamped beforehand.
If the postage says tomorrow, the check is going to be returned.
And the late fee?
And the late fee will be
How much
assessed.
is the late fee?
10%. of the total.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you're not killing me like the water people tried to kill me. It was like 20% or something stupid.
Yeah, things are going.
How much do you save if you turn it in early?
2%.
Now, see, that's a load of hooey. I can save 2%, but if I don't get it on time, motivate me to turn it in early and make that 10%, because I know these are all your decisions.
No, they're not.
Sure.
Decisions.
Are there people that, I don't want to get into sob stories, but are there people that, I just couldn't do it? How do you deal with that?
I deal with it by my policy is I don't accept any excuse, and there are many, and sometimes it's really sad. Somebody passes away and they couldn't get there. I don't allow anybody. I wouldn't allow my neighbor, my friend, somebody I didn't know, nobody.
Is that because if you do allow one person to turn it in late but not get the penalty, that word gets out?
Yes, absolutely. And that has been done in the past.
Who pays this tax? Because I didn't think I owed a tax. Who's on the hook for getting face value payment today?
I'm not sure.
Owners? I mean, homeowners?
Homeowners.
Okay. Because I rent. Yes. I'm going through all the papers in my head.
No.
And I say, okay.
If you rent, you don't get the owner of the building.
Okay.
Would be paying that.
So my landlord better get it together.
He better get it together.
Why? This is going to be stupid. I think I know the motivation, but as somebody that deals with it, you're the treasurer. Wouldn't it just be simpler to say, this is the date, this is the amount that's due, the end, rather than have a 2% savings for early and a 10% savings for late? Wouldn't it be easier just logistically to not involve that? Or is that not going to motivate people enough?
Yeah, it probably would be easier, but government doesn't take the easy way.
Okay, government's not going to do it simply.
No.
All right, here's a simple question. You can change one thing about your job. What do you change? Don't say the hours.
No.
Okay.
Not the hours. I don't have an answer for that. I'm pretty happy. I am actually very happy what I'm doing, where I'm doing it, with whom I'm doing it. I think my office is just running so well, and really all that goes to the employees. My staff is just incredible. My team is just so dedicated, and you always think that county employees make a lot of money, and they don't.
No.
They're between $12 and $13 an hour. So there's not a lot of money making in there.
Wait, just so I understand. I can come work for you in the county treasurer's office, or I can go flip burgers for $4 or $5 an hour more.
Exactly.
What's the motivation for people to come work for you?
I'm there.
I mean, besides your
I'm
bubbly
there.
personality. Yeah, I got that. But you know what? That bubbly personality is not going to move me off of the value meal to the supersize.
Well, there are some benefits to working with the county.
Right.
One, you have very good benefits.
Right.
Two, there is a very good pension plan.
Yeah.
So there is motivation in that.
All right. You just deal with the county taxes. Do you ever have to deal with townships or municipalities?
No.
Okay, because that stuff just confuses me.
Yes.
And you don't have to do that?
Yes.
But you do deal with dog licenses.
We do.
How did the treasurer's office
Somebody
get that gig?
Was sitting around someday and they're like, how can we make government bigger and, tax them? Where can we tax them?
Uh-huh.
So somebody invented dog licenses.
All right, I'm going to back up just for a second. I'm going to ask you something obtuse. Are you familiar with the television sitcom Parks and Rec?
I've never watched that. Is it a good show?
It's brilliant.
Okay.
There's a character. He runs the parks department. Mm-hmm. He is a libertarian, and it is his stated goal to bring government down from the inside out through inefficiency, among other things. Ron Swanson. It's brilliant.
Need
okay?
to watch that.
You work for the government,
mm-hmm.
and you just said, well, it's another way for the government to get to it. How do you balance those two things? Because the character's name is Ron Swanson. He's played by Nick Offerman. That was a Ron Swanson statement if I've ever heard it. Dog licenses, That's one more way to make government bigger. How do you balance that in your head?
Well, it's a mental state. I mean, I do believe the government is too big.
Okay.
I do. I think that, taxing people until they can't do what they need to do is not the way to be. But I mean, I don't.
Those are weird words from a treasurer. You recognize that,
I do.
right?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I mean, look, they're taxing you to fish.
Oh.
I mean, really, to hunt.
I know.
To provide food for your family.
They're charging me at best $75 for a sticker to put on my car,
Yes.
so I can drive on the roads that are crap
Yes.
that I pay for, like you.
I agree.
Okay.
I'm not unlike anybody else.
Right?
I mean, I pay these taxes too, and it makes me mad.
Are there people that assume because you're the tax collector in their head, it's right up there with the revenuer in the Deep South? They figure you're doing this and you get more out of it than you do. And how do you educate those people?
I mean, there are a lot of people, even on social media, that say, well, they siphon a little bit off the top. Well, there's no siphoning here. There's just none. I mean, and I hear all the time, well, I pay your salary. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do. And I think that I provide a very good service. It's not a happy office when you have taxpayers
yelling at you.
Very unhappy.
Well, this happened sometime last week, and I don't remember what politician. Some guy showed up screaming, and they asked him to leave. Then he starts throwing rocks, and he showed up on the 19th, which is the day after taxes were due this year anyway.
Yeah, well, and that's when they say, well, I pay your salary. You should let me pay, the discount rate. Well, you also pay the jail, for the jail. And if you're in jail, you can't say, well, let me out because I pay your salary. It just doesn't work that way. I mean, you pay for the courts, you pay for 911.
You pay for a whole lot more than Sandie getting a paycheck.
Right.
So, all right, well, explain the dog license. Is there an update? Do I got to get a license for the front and back end of the thing?
Don't give them any ideas.
No, I watch what goes on, and I watch the PennDOTs of the world, and I just went through this. I got a bill for $3.10 because I had the audacity to want to escape Ohio and get back to PA. And if I don't buy the plastic box, it's double the amount. And it's an organization that admitted openly that those plastic boxes don't work. And it's a state that was charging you a penalty and not telling you because the plastic box that they gave you didn't work, which they didn't tell you.
Well, it's all a secret.
What's all a secret?
Well, I mean,
$10 out of my pocket's not a secret.
The tax on your IRS, they tell you, well, you got to pay it every year, but we're not going to tell you how much it is. And if you get it wrong, we will penalize you.
Do people realize that every other country in the world, other than this one, just sends a bill? Sends a bill or sends a check. There's no process of some stupid person like me trying to do math, sorting out.
And I get a lot of people calling and saying, well, I never got that bill.
Right.
And the way the taxes work, even if you do not get the bill, you still owe the tax.
That's spectacular.
Whether you could say that until, no. It's your responsibility. The tax comes out every year. If you didn't get the bill, then you should have called. The tax stands.
But then how do you know? I'm applying logic, and I'm not picking at you because I realize that you realize that's ludicrous. How do I know to call somebody to tell them I didn't get something if I didn't get it?
There's a county, municipal, and school. 3 taxes.
Those are the ones.
Those are the 3. If you don't get one of those in a year, you've missed something.
So I can't just assume, Sandie likes me this week. She didn't mail it. It doesn't count?
No.
All right. So dog licenses?
Dog licenses.
Yeah.
Listen to this. This is beautiful.
I'm waiting for dog inspections to become an issue.
Dog licenses renew every December.
Okay. Why?
Why did they make it December? Why couldn't it be January to January, like a full year?
Why can't it be?
They make it every December.
Why can't it be annual? Whenever if I go get my dog license today, it runs out today, like the car inspections. Now, when I get my dog license, do I get a sticker to stick on the windshield of the dog?
No. No.
I didn't even get a sticker.
Just even like hunting license, $6.92 or
Right.
something.
I know.
Why is it the cents? Round it. Come on, I'm dealing with
I don't know.
pennies here.
I just wrote a check for $3.10 and spent 75 cents to mail the thing.
Isn't that beautiful?
No, it's
Oh
a
my
guy.
gosh,
That's the
I
God's
know.
honest truth. I'd like
I
a
know.
fishing license. Okay, well, here's your fishing license. It's this
Yeah.
much. Well, what are you going to fish for? Because that's extra.
So I'm working on putting an e-check payment on our website,
Okay.
and it's going to take me a couple months to get it on because the attorneys are looking through it, and that takes
Absolutely.
a while.
Those are billable hours.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So if you put in your bank information and pay your county tax, dog license, whatever it is, tax certificate, things like that, it's 20 cents. That's cheaper than a stamp to mail it back to me.
Oh, that's a 20-cent charge to
Yes.
use the e-file method.
E-filing, yeah, it's like an ACH.
That's nothing.
Right.
Talking about taxes,
Right.
when I got my taxes done, my federal taxes, I got a refund, and the person said, "Okay, do you want this immediately?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, then there's going to be a charge."
Yeah.
Why? The bank, through the company that I use, if you want your money immediately, it's a $39 charge. And I said, "You know what? I'll just mail it to me."
Yeah.
I just out of spite.
Right.
You're not taking $39
Right.
just to do it. Are people buying into that? Do you think they'll buy into that e-pay?
Oh, I
Just-
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it makes sense.
Well, a lot of things make
I-
sense that don't get bought into.
I
It
would
makes
hope.
sense to
I
have
would
bills that
Yeah.
don't end with 38 cents.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. So getting back to dog licenses.
Yeah.
So dog licenses, when you pay for a dog license, that allows for a dog warden to inspect all kennels in the area to make sure they are above par.
Is
They're-
providing funds that are very necessary.
well, yes,
Yeah.
and they're whenever there's an incident where the dog it has bitten somebody, they investigate that.
Mhm.
So there is a means to pay for those services. So last year we had 14,296. This past year, 2021, we had 14,772 dog licenses.
All right.
Now, I do believe that there are more dogs out there than that.
Yeah, there always
and
are.
the
Those
thing is
illegal dogs that come across from the Butler County border.
right.
I
That's
see them.
they're yeah. They're
Sneaking in.
they are sneaking in through the woods.
Well, sure, through the woods.
So the dog warden does have access to the people that have the dog licenses, and what they will do is they will pull a list and go knocking on doors.
That's how it always starts.
$300 fine if you do.
Is
not-
it really?
If you do not have a dog license, $300 for every dog over 3 months old has to have a dog license.
I got more questions. Sandie Egley is the Beaver County Treasurer. She's my guest. News is next on Teleforum.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers all around us. We work around it and we live around it every day. And we just become desensitized to what's around us.
We go through safety training and, we try and do these things to make sure accidents don't happen, but you just never know.
There are so many farmers that I think take for granted all of the underground utilities that are there.
You don't want to hit a gas pipe because that's your life. The other part of it is if you hit certain things, you're liable for it.
I mean, we kind of know what's out here, but all at the same time, you just always call.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Whether you're installing drain tile or doing any sort of digging, always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked and have the depth confirmed. That's farming with care. But if a line does get damaged, go somewhere safe and call 911.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
Some things just seem to go together well. Like salt and pepper, love and marriage, pencils and paper, and liver and onions. What? Liver and onions? Who wrote this? Hi, this is Andy Dangle from Freedom United Federal Credit Union, here to talk about two other things that go great together, cars and cash. If you're like me, you like both of those things, and right now, during Cars and Cash Month, Freedom United is making their unbelievable 1.99% new and late model auto loan available so you can get all the cash you need to get the car you've been dreaming of, based on credit approval and vehicle purchase. Cars and Cash. That's a combination that you can't beat. Look for a picture of me holding all the cash you'll need, along with other details about Cars and Cash Month in the Freedom United Facebook feed. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers all around us. We work around it and we live around it every day. And we just become desensitized to what's around us.
We go through safety training and, we try and do these things to make sure accidents don't happen, but you just never know.
There are so many farmers that I think take for granted all of the underground utilities that are there.
You don't want to hit a gas pipe because that's your life. The other part of it is if you hit certain things, you're liable for it.
I mean, we kind of know what's out here, but all at the same time, you just always call.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Whether you're installing drain tile or doing any sort of digging, always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked and have the depth confirmed. That's farming with care. But if a line does get damaged, go somewhere safe and call 911.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
There is a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame Induction Weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 22nd through 25th for the induction of Bud Fowler, Gil Hodges, Jim Cott, Minnie Minoso, Tony Oliva, Buck O'Neill, and David Ortiz as the class of 2022. Visit baseballhall.org today for the
Beaver County Radio's news source, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com. Here's Frank Sparks.
And good morning. As our forecast for today is calling for showers throughout the day. High's going to be 61 degrees. When will the showers come to an end? And what's Mother's Day weekend going to look like? We'll have a complete forecast coming up for you right after we have this look at news. In a report that we first told you about yesterday in the noonday hour, there was a fire at the Valley Terrace Apartments yesterday morning in Aliquippa. Beaver County Radio News correspondent Sandie Giordano has more.
Aliquippa Fire Chief Dave Foringer reported that his department was dispatched to Valley Terrace Apartments Building D at 2:05 a.m. Thursday morning for a couch on fire. The chief said they were assisted by 7 neighboring departments to put out the fire that started on a couch. The Salvation Army and Red Cross are assisting the residents displaced by the fire, the chief said, and that the fire is under investigation by the state fire marshal. This is Sandie Giordano reporting for Beaver County Radio.
An accident early this morning in the 4500 block of Steubenville Pike in Robinson Township caused a brief power outage and the roadway to be closed for a period of time. The accident happened near the Permane Brothers restaurant. The roadway was reported to be closed between Lorish and East Windhaven roads following the crash. At a news conference that was held yesterday afternoon by Westmoreland County District Attorney Nicole Ziccarelli, she identified the 9-year-old boy who was found dead in New Kensington, Westmoreland County on Wednesday morning. Ziccarelli identified the boy as Azare Charles, and she confirmed there is a person of interest in the case, but did not provide any other details. Azare's father, Jean Charles, was arrested on Wednesday by police for charges unrelated to the case, and he is currently being held in the Westmoreland County Jail. Anyone with information is asked to call the New Kensington Police Department. Video footage from a bus of the bridge collapse in Pittsburgh this year shows one end of the structure had already fallen when the expansion joint at the other end was pulling apart. Federal investigators said yesterday that the video of the Fern Hollow Bridge collapse is giving them more information about the sequence of events. The investigative updates says that all aspects of the disaster are still being looked at and the cause has yet to be determined. The agency now says there were 9 people in 6 vehicles. 2 were injured seriously, 2 had minor injuries, and 4 were not hurt, and the injury status of one person isn't uncertain. Pennsylvania State Representative Aaron Bernstein is inviting residents to a concealed carry seminar as a way to further understand their rights with respect to the state's firearm laws and protections. The seminar will take place on Wednesday, May the 11th, beginning at 5:30 p.m. at the Wayne Township Fire Hall, located at 5153 Elwood Road in Elwood City. Bernstein said in a statement that many people own firearms, so it's good for them to learn the laws. The Lawrence County District Attorney and Sheriff will present facts and answer questions about Pennsylvania's concealed carry laws, the Castle Doctrine, and other valuable information regarding firearm safety and state gun laws. Residents who have any questions about the seminar may contact Bernstein's office at 724-752-2120. The average long-term U.S. mortgage rate resumed their ascent this week as the key 30-year loan reached its highest point since 2009. The increases came in a week preceding the widely anticipated action by the Federal Reserve announced on Wednesday to intensify its fight against the worst inflation in 40 years by raising its benchmark interest rate by a half percentage point and signaling further large rate hikes to come. Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac reports that the 30-year rate rose to 5.27% from 5.1% last week. The average rate of a 15-year fixed-rate mortgage jumped to 4.52% from 4.4% last week.
Here's the Beaver County forecast on 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
Showers today with a high of 61 degrees. More showers overnight tonight with a low of 51. Showers to start out your Mother's Day weekend, but mainly before 3 p.m. High's going to be 56 degrees. For your Mother's Day, it's going to start a stretch of beautiful weather. Mostly sunny skies and a high of 65. Monday, sunny and 71 for your high. Tuesday, also sunny and high of 75. Wednesday, sunny skies and a high of 79 degrees. That is a look at the news for now. I'm Frank Sparks, Beaver County Radio News. 95.7 and 99.3 FM presented by St. Barnabas, 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and beavercountyradio.com.
Your community, your radio stations, originating from the St. Barnabas Control Studio in Beaver County, 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge.
It is Beaver County Radio, and it is Teleforum, and it is Sandie. This is being live streamed on our Facebook page also, by the way. Sandie Egley is my guest. She is the Beaver County Treasurer. And what taxes due today that you ain't taking no guff about? Which
the county tax.
The county tax.
Yes.
Today's the day.
Today is the last day to pay face.
And if it's postmarked by today, you're cool with that.
If I get it Wednesday and it's postmarked today,
okay.
Yes, I'm cool with it.
And if it's not
postmarked tomorrow, I'm not. It's being returned to you.
You're bringing the hammer down.
I am.
Well, you're not. You're not sitting there going, I get to pop somebody for 10% penalty. It's the state.
No.
Who is it? County, rather.
Yes, it's the county. Yeah. No, I mean, there's a deadline for a reason, and I abide by the deadline.
I hated teachers like you.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't have a ruler to slap your knuckles.
Well, why do you think you're over there?
True enough.
Yeah, you seem like the type perfectly capable of finding a stick.
Did you take typing in school? Because I did, and that's what happened. That she had a ruler and she smacked your knuckles. The Frank will tell you.
Well, wait a minute.
He had typing with me in school.
You and Frank took typing class?
Yes. Do you believe that? I don't think they have it anymore. I mean, that's just, yeah. So, no civics lesson, but we got typing. No, I think we did have civics.
You just were too busy at the nurse's office from the broken knuckles from typing.
Well, it was a whole different time. So.
Yes, I did take the only, and I've said this, not to completely drift off the subject, there were 2 typing classes in my school. You could take typing for business, or you could, and that was a year, that was 2 terms, right? Or you could take personal typing, which was 1 semester. Easily the most beneficial class that I ever took in high school was personal typing. Yeah. ASDF, JKL, semicolon, home row, right?
Right.
Yep. Yeah. I typed 1 million papers because I was an English major.
Yeah.
That's the only class that and gym.
Yeah, that you excelled at.
No. What? I got special treatment because the gym coach was one of my coaches, and we could goof off.
Yeah.
They let us slide, unlike you with taxes.
Yes.
All right, we were talking about dogs before.
dogs. So
3 months. Why is there not a cat? And I'm not stumping for it, but how long before the Commonwealth says you got to put a license on the back end of a cat?
Because cats they're too hard to track. And
mine are sitting in the same window every day.
They're
not tough to find.
Well, there's a lot of feral cats. I mean,
Right.
there's so I
Kitten season.
Yes, it is, and I know the Humane Society is probably pulling their hair out, but yeah. So I don't know exactly why they're the reason why
Okay.
they don't.
Why
but
they
I'm
haven't
not-
thought of that yet?
I don't ever bring it up.
Oh, you don't want to give them any ideas?
No.
All right. When you tax a dog, when you fill out the paperwork to pay your puppy tax, let's call it that, it lowers the pain just for a second.
Okay.
It's the puppy tax. That's fun. Here's my money. Do you find out about the dog? Do you have to register it like an old '68 Impala or something?
Yes. So
do you really?
You have to say the
Is the
color
dog-
of the dog, what the breed is. So
Yeah.
the top breeds,
The displacement
last year-
of the dog.
Yes, whether it is altered.
Wait, you have to put that.
Yes.
Is there not a dog HIPAA rule that keeps that out of the government's hands?
Oh, it's
If it's
there's going to
altered,
be a new emoji for dogs now. Are you altered or unaltered?
it depends on my
Neuter,
mood and how much free time I
spay,
have.
yes.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, so what do I have to, if I had a dog and I want to be legal and not have you harassing me for the dog tax? What information do you need about my dog, you invasive government employee?
Well, now you can apply for the dog license online
Okay.
on my website. If you pull up the Beaver County Courthouse, go under elected officials, the
Mhm.
treasurer's office, right online, you can get your dog license.
Okay.
You'll fill that form out. Boom, I send you your dog license within 3 days. Dog license regular fees are $8.50 for male, female. Neutered
Oh,
is
God, I
$6.50.
thought you were about to bring a transgender discussion into dogs for a second. Thank
I'm
you.
not going to.
Thank you.
No.
Okay, so
No.
male, female are $8.50.
Neutered is $6.50.
Yeah.
If you're a senior, it drops it down to $4.50 for neutered, and regular is $6.50. So
okay.
between
annually, so
$8.50 and $4.50, you're somewhere in there, and then you can get a lifetime if you would like, and I believe that's $31.50 for a lifetime.
okay, so if it's ballpark figure 7 and you go 31, as long as the dog lives 4 or 5 more years, you're getting your
Right.
money. You're ahead of the game.
Mhm.
What do you find out about the dogs besides that? Do you know what the breeds are and all
Yes,
that?
what the breeds are, and
Really?
the top breeds in Beaver County are Labrador, German Shepherd, Beagle, then Chihuahua, Shih Tzu, Pit Bull, Boxer, and Yorkshire Terrier. Now, 2020, the top breed was Labrador. The second was unknown.
I'm a big fan of the unknown. Isn't
Unknown.
that a mutt?
Yes, I think so.
Mutts
Yeah,
are the best dogs.
they are,
I've-
actually, unknown.
The
But
dogs that you're around
Right.
that are, this is a hybrid dog and this dog costs more than your truck. Those dogs just shake and tinkle
Right.
everywhere. They're worthless. They do nothing.
So last year when you and I were having this conversation, we talked about different dog names and how funny they were.
How do you
and
remember that?
Well, because I do.
Wow.
This is
I barely knew today was Friday. Well, good for you. If there's anybody keeping track of the taxes, it's somebody that just demonstrated that kind of memory. So, well done.
So I looked and I came up with some that I wanted to tell you about.
Okay.
Did you know that in Beaver County we have a flurry of people that name their dogs swear words?
I got to be real careful how I
They do.
respond to this.
And that's why I said it like that. I didn't tell you the name, but yeah,
You're going to give me the list off the air, though, right?
four letters.
4-letter words?
Four-letter
Really?
words. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them.
I had an uncle that had a dog named Cat and a cat named Dog.
Well, there are a lot of people that name their dogs animals.
Okay.
Duck, bear, raven, fox, bird. I mean, they do.
Wouldn't
And
it
then
cause an
food.
identity crisis
They
when
do.
your dog's around the other dogs, though?
I don't know.
To be a dog named Raven hanging out with other dogs named Bear? There's a lot of confusion in that little pack.
That's why you probably live out in the country. You just don't.
You
don't
just
have
yelled
neighbors.
dog.
Dog. Well, there are dogs named Dog.
Yeah.
I mean, and food. They peanut, cocoa, cookies, peaches, nacho, T-bone. I mean, and people. They name them after people. Ozzy, Flurry, Apollo Creed. We got.
You got a dog named Apollo Creed?
Yeah, yeah. And this is the best one. This is one I was really excited to tell you.
Okay.
There's a person who has 3 dogs,
Mm-hmm.
and they're Doe, Ray, me. Isn't that cool?
So they need, what, 5 more Fossil Doe? But then the first doe and the second doe are going to get messed up because the whistle might be too high-pitched for one but perfect for the other.
But I thought that was pretty creative, isn't it?
People.
I mean, that has to be the generation of, like, you and I.
What do you mean you and I?
Sound of Music, right?
No,
I mean, that's.
I hated that movie.
Well, but you know.
The Hills weren't alive.
They are. With
I made the
sound.
mistake of actually reading that story. It doesn't end as happy as Mary Poppins type vibes want you to think it ends. No, don't connect me with that. There's more of a Liquid Sky generation, which is an utterly undiscussable movie. If you got a dog right now, what would you name it?
Well, I have to.
Well, but they've already got names. You can't change them.
Well, we're on the theme of flowers for ours. So
For
ours
dogs?
is- yeah.
Do the other dogs mock those dogs?
I don't know. They don't tell me.
Okay. What are the dogs' names?
Lily and Sweet Pea.
Lily and Sweet Pea?
Yeah.
Are they both
Pea.
sweet? Are they both
They're
girls?
flowers. Yeah.
Okay.
They're both girls.
Okay.
Mhm.
If
And
you-
they have a license. So.
You crack me up. What would you name a dog if you got it now? Let's say a boy dog. He comes into your yard and Lily and Sweet Pea say, "Oh, he's the dreamiest, Ma. We got to keep him." He followed me home, Ma. Can I keep
My husband
it?
would leave me
Yeah?
if I brought another dog in the house.
Well, that
Really?
sounds. If that's the
Really?
tipping point, that sounds
That's-
tenuous anyway.
That's the tipping point. No, we foster a lot. I mean, we foster from the Humane Society. We've had kittens at least a handful of times
All right.
when they're overflowed.
I
So
want
we
to ask.
bring
Well,
them home
tis
to-
the season for that.
Yes, I know.
I want to ask you something as a foster. How tough is it when it's time for them to go? Yes, they're going to their forever home, and that's wonderful. But if there's a living creature in your house for any length of time, you make an emotional connection with it,
Mhm.
for sure.
And I'm ready
You're ready
to
to.
bring them back.
Oh,
Yeah. Bring them back and let them go to their forever home. It's a mindset when you have that in your mind. You're not.
you know they're not staying.
They're not staying. Yeah, you're helping. Yeah, bring that to feed them. Some of them are like really tiny, like a couple weeks old.
Yeah,
and they need
fit in
fed
the palm of
every.
your hand, right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that it's a mindset that that they're not staying.
It's kind of like a farm kid won't name any of the animals because he knows what. Yeah, that's if you grow up on a farm kid, you don't
Yeah.
don't name that animal. Why? Because that's.
We do.
I know.
We give them names.
Yeah, but isn't it weird to sit down at Thanksgiving?
Well,
and,
yeah.
Oh, the pot roast is great. What is it? Elsa.
Yeah, that's not cool.
All right. Is there anything we should have talked about with taxes that we drifted too far away? Because I love getting you wound up about taxes. The
I
fact that
do.
you're the
That's-
tax collector and
Yeah.
you think taxes are bad
Yeah.
just cracks me up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it gives me hope. No, it does.
Well, if I could cancel any of it,
Right.
I would. I would.
How often do you have to explain that to people that assume it's you? I know you said earlier you get the, I pay your salary and blah, 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 blah.
I think the people that know me or follow me on Facebook or Twitter or whatever,
Yeah.
I think they know. They know how I feel and how I look at taxes and government as a whole. I mean, I'm very vocal. I mean, very.
That's the
Nobody
part.
has to think. Wonder what Sandie thinks about that. I already talked about it. I already told you.
People that don't ask her, she's on. Yes, she'll just go again. That's the part that's really interesting to me, because I do follow you on Facebook and I see things getting posted, and I want to be really careful how I say it. It's really this is really interesting because it does a couple of things. One, it humanizes a bureaucratic position.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of things do that. If you're a bureaucrat to a lot of people, you're a bureaucrat. You're the tax
Mhm.
collector. You're not a human being.
Right.
You're not a person with
Right.
2 dogs named after flowers.
Right.
You're the tax collector.
Mm-hmm.
that does this, but you're working in a system that you're openly, at times, openly critical of.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that to emotionally balance being able to be a part of the system?
Well,
how do you say I'm going to post something critical of taxes?
Well, I think it comes from, I worked at an engineering firm, and I saw that the government was not being run efficiently how I looked at it.
Right.
And so I thought, how can I change that? I ran. So I ran, and I won as commissioner. So I spent 4 years as a commissioner. Now I knew that the treasurer's office needed some work, so I ran for the treasurer's office, and I'm implementing a lot of the things that I felt were more efficient. But I still attend the commissioner's meeting because I feel that I still want to know where our tax dollars are being spent.
You don't have that information as the treasurer? You don't see the paperwork on that?
You have to. No, I see the check going out the door.
Okay,
and I want to know why we're paying that.
You want to hear the discussion to determine that check's going to get cut. I got
why we're paying the things that we're paying. So I attend the commissioner's work session usually almost every Wednesday. They have a public session every Wednesday, and they have a voting session every Thursday. So I do attend those, and I do ask questions, and then I usually
Are you a pain in the neck?
Yeah.
Are you?
I am.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good. I want somebody to be a pain in the neck rather than I'm just happy to be here and go along.
And then I posted on my Facebook, what I found, what they said, what questions I asked, and because not a lot of people can have the time to go at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday.
Right.
So I do, and I post that, and I allow people to ask questions, and I do reply.
You have to be accessible, and I do believe you recognize that more than a whole lot of public servants absolutely recognize that. Are you going to move up in the political world past treasurer?
No, absolutely not. There is no question about that. No,
Why?
I will never. Harrisburg is not my idea of what I'm passionate about. I look at that as far as people who are like state representatives and higher. They develop laws that
but you could
will
affect.
help. And I want less laws. I want less government. That's where I can make the biggest difference is locally. Yeah.
You don't think you could affect change at a greater level by being in Harrisburg rather than here? Because, you can pass laws, but you can also unpass laws, can't you?
Right. Yeah, that's just not my...
That's not it?
No, that's not it. No, I'm really happy where I am. And I don't like to travel. Harrisburg is an ugly trip. Don't like it.
Yes, it is.
So I don't.
Come on, the beautiful scenic vista that is the Turnpike.
Yep. No, thank you.
I wonder how much they just charged me for going past that billboard.
Yeah.
How long are you going to be treasurer? If you love your job and you've got a great staff and everything's going groovy and you say it's all good, how long are you going to do that?
So I have some things that I've put off to doing because they didn't make the priority list of things that I wanted to accomplish in this 4 years.
You're talking about you're talking about work.
Next year is a yes. Okay. Next year is a year that I would run, and that's the municipal races, which is commissioners, all the row offices. That's next year, and I'll run. I'll run next year.
You already know. It's like, I'm going. So there is a list. You're working down the list of priorities.
And I think that's a good question for you to ask any elected official. Are you going to run again? I think that, by now you would know whether you are or you aren't.
You really believe that those decisions are made that far in advance? Well, firsthand. Now, you might have decisions being made over your head whether or not your party is going to think it's a good idea if you run.
Well, a lot of them, play that. I'm not going to tell anybody. So, that's part of the game. And I'm not in it for the game. I'm in it to get things done. I have a list. If I didn't have anything that I needed to accomplish, I'd bow out.
It's like I've done all I can do. What's on your list?
I haven't made the salary that I ended up with had when I worked at the engineering firm. I haven't even got to that yet.
Okay, now wait a minute. Now that implies that you're going to stick around long enough until you get enough raises to break even from the gig before?
No.
Okay, well, what do you mean?
I'm just saying that I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the salary.
I got you.
And there are things, like I said, that I want to do. One of the things that I want to do is we have a lot of technical computer education that needs to be done in the office. A lot of the staff were not up to par with the Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint, email.
Okay, so
I'm incorporating that into this system. I want to make sure that I get them up to speed, and that takes a lot of work to get that to that level.
And as much as it might affect efficiency during the learning curve, it's going to massively improve it when you're actually using tools that are beneficial to the job.
Right. Yeah, and there's a lot of things that I want to change with my website to make it more user friendly for the residents, so that they can pay their taxes with that e-check.
With that, not having to go buy stamps.
Right. That's right. I want to make things easier for the taxpayer. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on in my next 4 years, if I am granted that by the people.
Is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't ask you?
You cover a lot of area.
I ramble and you kind of keep up, and that's way ahead of the curve.
So no, I think that we covered a lot of it.
So when I pay for my cat tax, do I put the sticker on the back end or on top of the forehead to the left?
Isn't Ohio the state that you have to have a license plate on the front and back of your car?
Yeah, because of the pride factor. You want them to know where you from, coming and going. Yeah. So, although I'll say this, when I drive through Ohio, you know what they have that I am extremely wistful for? Mm-hmm. Human beings at the toll booths. Yeah. You hand them money. They hand you. It's brilliant. So if you wanted me to put a plate on the front, yes, they do require that. Sandie Egley, the Beaver County Treasurer, has been my guest. She always rocks.
Legendary radio since 1948. It's 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge, coming to you live from the St. Barnabas studios.
When we walk, when we reach, when we play, we're moving through life. Lately, we haven't been moving enough. An estimated 80% of Americans aren't getting their recommended daily physical activity. This is a health crisis, and the solution is in our hands and our feet. It's on our shoulders. It's on our backs. It's in our souls. It's time to move and keep moving, America. Wherever you are, however you can. Movement reduces your risk of diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. It improves your